Welcome to the One Bloody Take movie podcast, where we usually go back in time several decades to browse the aisles of your local video store. This week, we happened to be going through the local record store, and we came across a Christmas classic that Russ had some concerns with. So I'm Paul.
And I'm Russ.
And today we're listening to the classic Elmo and Patsy, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
I'm going to just start by saying, this was right up my alley when I was a kid. Loved Weird Al. So, I love anything that's a little bit different, that's a little bit humorous. And I think it's because of that humor that I was laughing instead of being concerned.
Sure.
I don't believe that Grandma got run over by a reindeer. I'm confident that her family killed her. and the evidence that we need to convict the family, or at least Grandpa, is all over the lyrics of this song.
Okay.
So the song starts, after the chorus kicks in. They tell us that Grandma's been drinking too much eggnog.
Right.
And they begged her not to go.
Right.
Okay. So eggnog's festive. You drink it at Christmas time. It's not very specific to a certain type of drink. So nothing's alarming. Nothing seems out of place. Of course someone would be drinking eggnog at Christmas. So we don't get into the weeds of it. We don't say beer. We don't say vodka. We don't say whiskey. Something that could be disproven. No, I've known Ethel for 25 years and I've never seen her take a beer. So it's this nice, safe word that will be believable.
Okay.
Then they begged her not to go.
Right.
You can do more than beg. You can physically stop her. But if you do that, you'd have to show that you tried to intervene in the process, and they never did. They let this elderly woman walk out the door. And according to them, it's because she forgot her medication and staggered out the door into the snow. Did she really forget her medication? No, you need a reason to place her either outside or to get her to go outside. I say Grandpa removed the medication from her purse, knowing she would have to leave, go outside, and go back for it. And there's two big words here: staggered and snow. This sounds like a house of fully capable people. So you either accompany her or you go with her. If she's so inebriated, she's staggering. And if the weather is so bad, there's snow. You should be protecting your grandmother. And I don't think they did that. I think they killed her.
So you're not only suggesting that they killed her, you're suggesting that there was a plot to kill her.
There was definitely a plot to kill her.
Okay.
And this can be further proven by the additional lyrics. When we found her Christmas morning at the scene of the attack. So I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is happening on Christmas Eve.
Right.
I'm going to guess maybe around 7 or 8 o'clock, if she's had enough time to drink that much eggnog to get her wasted to the point where she can't walk properly. I don't think it could be any earlier than that. I grew up 10 minutes away from my grandparents. Every time we left their house, we got home, we called. They left our house, they got home, they called. Well before cell phones and just knowing where everyone is at all times. If they are allowing the elderly woman to make this trip, there definitely should be a phone call when she gets there, and people should be wondering why she hasn't come back. You don't have to wait for that phone call, and you don't have to wonder why she came back, because you know exactly where she is in the exact place you left her after you killed her. The hoof prints on the forehead, the claw marks on her back, it's just there to cover up the blunt trauma that she died from. So I think the only truthful line that they say here is at the scene of the attack is where they found her, because that is where they left her.
So you raise some interesting points here, and I see what you're thinking and why you're thinking it. I think it's going to be tough to pin this on them without some other establishing facts. For example, we don't know how far grandma lived from their house. So when I first when I first married my wife, uh, she lived her parents lived in Pennsylvania, and they quite literally shared a backyard with other relatives. So
Right.
I mean, if we're in that level of proximity, I'm probably going to be okay letting her go, even if she is that level of inebriated. I'm going to be okay with it because, you know, perhaps she doesn't even have to go out in the street to get to her house. But we don't have any context on it. We don't know. She could be 10 minutes away. She could be 5 blocks away. She could be 10 houses down. And then it starts to get a little iffy. Like, why are you letting grandma leave?
Yes.
Now, this is certainly prejudice on my part, and I understand that. But because Elmo and Patsy have chosen to sing this as almost a country western song, I imagine everyone is very argumentative in the house and constantly fighting in this trailer home that I picture them all cramming into for Christmas Eve. Um, so letting someone walk out after fighting with them seems like just the normal progression of things. Fine, you want to go? Go. I don't care. And she walks out. My question to begin with is, probably to your point, she's we're gonna call her drunk for the purposes of what
That's
we
fine.
understand is happening here.
Right.
She's drunk
I
and
think there's a reason she drinks, but yes.
she's drunk and she's going to get medication. There's not a medication on the planet that they recommended you take while drinking. And granted, some people don't follow the rules, but she's so drunk that she can't walk, but she's not so drunk that she didn't realize that she forgot her pills. Seems like a bit of a counterplay against each other there. So maybe that's something. The
I
thing,
do think it's just a well-crafted story, and it was done on purpose. I don't think she was as drunk as they want us to believe. I think that's just the cover as to why she wasn't aware that Santa was coming. Sort of story there. The next point that I have is that they say how proud they are of Grandpa and how well he's been taking this. Grandpa's not mourning. Grandpa's been set free.
Grandpa's
And how do
celebrating.
I? Yeah, he is celebrating. How do I know this? He's doing what he always wanted to do, but without getting all the complaints from Grandma. He's watching football. He's drinking beer. He's playing cards with Cousin Belle.
Cousin Mel, what an ass. And this is within a reasonably short time
Yes.
from her passing, because they're still trying to determine if they should keep the Christmas gifts or send them back. So
Yes.
we're
I
not
think we're less than 24 hours.
I mean, I like to give the family a little credit, but we could be within the week because it sounds like everybody's dressed for a funeral, right? All the family's dressed in black. So the thing that we have to calculate here then is we have to be under the assumption that our singer, our narrator, is also in on this. We have to understand, did they have a deer hoof handy for the hoof print?
Well, I mean, they could live on a farm or a ranch. I mean, anything can happen, or they could have just done their best to be like, yeah, that's what happened, because it's not like you can take the hoof print from another murder victim and compare it. If that's what they're saying, I think it's important that they're getting this narrative out there. They're spreading the word that this is what happened. So what you hear first is more believable. That's why they're warning their friends and neighbors, because then everyone's going to believe that story. And to further the point that Grandpa is now free, I think Grandpa had a crippling gambling addiction. And I think him and Grandma fought over it constantly. It's why she drinks. She needs her medication to keep her blood pressure down because Grandpa is always a problem. It was easier to kill her than explain another big gambling loss. Because what are the things he's doing? He's watching football. You can bet on that. He's drinking beer. It's going to lead to poor gambling decisions. He's playing cards. And the thing that really stands out here is he's with Cousin Belle. He's not with any of his children. So, just like you said, as to where you picture this happening, I think it would be more than understandable that Cousin Belle might be eyeing up Grandpa. And I think that was also getting to Grandma. All this stuff is creating a lot of stress, and it's why she's losing her hair, and why she needs a wig. Her family life is not good.
I'd like to just point out real quick that it's cousin Mel and not cousin Belle, which makes your whole sideline about them hitting on each other even funnier.
I thought that to be true as well, but I looked up the lyrics and it said Belle. I always said cousin Mel,
Yeah, I'm
but
pretty.
everywhere I found it, it said Belle.
I'm I'm looking at it where I'm looking at it on lyrics on genius.com, and they
Yeah.
have it as Mel.
Okay.
But either way,
I
it
I
doesn't
honestly believe, and
it doesn't stop that
okay,
theory from holding up.
Mel's short for melody.
But sure, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and then the cincher for me is when they are determining what to do with her presents. They don't want them. She's not a good gift giver. She's not loved by the family. So no matter what it is, it could be something useful, but they're tired of shitty presents year after year from grandma, and they've had enough. So it's one more reason to kill her. I mean, it's not the best reason. I think the other ones are a little stronger, but it tells you what the family thinks of her. This is the last gift your grandmother got for you before she died, and you want store credit.
I'm gonna be honest here. I came in ready to stand up for Grandpa and our narrator, who never identifies themselves. But there's a lot of evidence you're throwing around here that's making a whole lot of sense to me. Um, and really, depending on the plot, even though there are other family members involved, only the two of them really need to be in on it for
Yes,
it to work. Um, you may have sold me on this not being a Christmas
right.
song as much as it is a confession. So
It is.
now we need to backtrack like 20 years, so like 58, 59, and look through unsolved murders in that period of time and see what you're onto here.
And to further it as to the narrator and grandpa being the ones that are at least are guilty. So if we're only going to say two family members are guilty, it's definitely them. Because as the song goes, it gets a little more upbeat when they do the chorus, and he starts out by "Sing it, Grandpa." Grandpa shouldn't be in the singing mood. This isn't Danny Boy. This isn't Amazing Grace. Like this
Yeah,
is
it's
not.
not a dirge. It's a party song.
Yeah, yeah. So they're out having a good old time, and Grandma's just fresh in the ground. So yeah, they killed Grandma.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I also, as an aside, not that it matters to your analysis, I don't like this song. And the only reason I ever listen to this song is because my mom hates this song, and I enjoy the level of hate that she has for this song makes her viscerally angry when it comes on. So I do make sure to keep it in my rotation on my Spotify Christmas list. But I'm in on this concept that this Elmo and Patsy are basically confessing to either something that they witnessed or participated in their youth. And I kind of like the idea that our witness got to monetize this, and that was like Grandpa's last wish. Like, now you can
Yeah,
tell people, and now Grandpa has passed away, so there's not going to be any problems. And this is their clever way of getting this guilt off their chest, just in time for the holidays.
yeah. So I think it's safe to walk outside on Christmas Eve without the fear of a reindeer stampeding you,
Oh, hey, listen, you got
which
to keep your head
is
on a swivel. Don't get me wrong,
yeah,
but it's not as dire as it's made to seem. Not to mention, um, for what we know of Santa and how he operates, that seems like he's off track if he's down there on their lawn killing grandma, right? Like, he goes
yeah,
rooftop to rooftop and does all of his work. What is he doing all the way down there?
yeah. There's no reason for him to swoop down into a valley. He's staying airborne.
What if that was grandpa's wish on his Christmas list?
It could be. It just furthers the point that Grandpa had something to do with Grandma's death.
Absolutely. All right,
Yeah,
you've sold me. I'm with
yeah.
you. I'm with you.
Happy to do so. Maybe we can ruin another Christmas song next year.
I'm sure it can't be that difficult. Most of these songs are horrid anyway. Well, that is, I guess, our yeah. Well, that is our bloody take
Yeah.
on a Christmas classic. So we hope that we've taken your joy, um, and stuffed it into a grave, just like Grandpa did with Grandma.
And if you like this back and forth, we have podcasts that we release every Wednesday under One Bloody Take, wherever you get your podcast. Check us out.